If you want to know how to mix your song, then I'm going to share with you these 3 simple, easy to follow, beginner friendly steps. In this video, you'll learn how to mix your track in minutes. And if that sounds good, then keep on watching. Right, so the first thing on the list would be sound space. For this example, I'll define our sound space as a combination of headroom, gain staging, and panning. So what's headroom? Headroom can be thought as a safety zone allowing transient audio peaks basically to exceed the nominal sound level in decibels without clipping. In plain English, basically, the lower the volume you work with, the less unwanted audio artifact you will encounter, meaning the red colors won't show on your track. So let's see how the headroom works. So basically, the headroom we're working with is all the way from here for minus 36 dBs to here to 0. So you basically don't want to push anything towards 0. You want it to be minus 10, minus 12 dBs when you're working with the mixing to prepare for mastering, usually around minus 60 dBs. Now, one way of using headroom and to have it work perfectly all the time, what you want to do is have your sound card set to a certain volume, and every time you start mixing, have it at the same volume all the time. Your sound card, for example, is at half, then you'll know how much headroom you need to hear the same sound. Gain staging is the process of managing the relative levels in each step of the audio signal flow. Alright, so in order to better understand how gain staging works, we'll have 5 channels here: melodies, effects, percussion, bass, and kicks. And we're going to adjust the volume from these faders. We see you got channel 1, channel 7, channel 11, channel 27, and channel 30. So what we want to do is maintain a volume on the master track at minus 12. And we're just going to adjust the necessary volume. As you can see, so far we got minus 35, so we're in the clear for now. Oh, minus 20. Probably want the kick hit is gonna minus 11. I'm gonna click here to reset it. Now minus 14 now, minus 11. I'm gonna do the bass as well. So we're doing the bass minus 3 dB. We're doing the kick minus 3 dB and the bass minus 2. Minus 17, alright. Minus 12, there we go, sweet. No, that's perfect. Basically, we wanted to, for the gain staging part, just have a minus 12. So panning basically is the distribution of audio signal in either mono or stereo pairs to the center, left or right. Right, so I'll show you some panning I'll do with the melodies, right? Here's just the melody tracks we're going to play. So you can hear this is already a bit panned to the left, yeah? So in order to pan anything, you can just use this knob right here and pan it to the left. Or pan it all the way to the right. Let's select this track only. So we can pan this all the way to the right. And then pan this all the way to the left. And this creates an interesting melody. Plus the volume, if you see right now, we got minus 29. And if we have them both at the center, it's minus 34. So the total volume is affected by the way they are panned as well. Right, so for the sound space, the first thing we make sure is that we have enough headroom. After that, we make sure we gain stage everything to maintain that headroom. And finally, we pan unnecessary instrument to the left or the right or keep them to the center. Pretty much just how you feel like it, but still trying to maintain the headroom. For the EQ part, we'll keep this very simple. We're just going to do a high cut, a low cut, and if there's any extra frequencies, we're going to remove them. So 3 steps, right? So first, the high cut. The first thing you want to do is go into your audio effects and search for EQ8. Drag this EQ8 onto your melodies or to whatever high frequency instrument you've got. And what you want to do is activate this one here. This is going to allow you to move this frequency knob. And we're going to do this. We're going to take this all the way to 150. So this is a low cut, right? So you want your low cut to go on your high frequency instrument. So that way the low end doesn't interfere with your bass or your kick. So we're going to just copy this, Control C. We're going to paste it on FX, and then we're going to do the same thing for the percussion. So what we did right now is have a low cut on all our high frequency instruments. Now for the low frequency instruments, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add an EQ8 on them, but instead of having a low cut, we're going to do what is called a high cut. A high cut, we're going to cut the frequencies. We're going to drag the 4 here. So we're just going to click and drag all the way to 1K. And we'll make sure, if you double click this, it's going to be full screen. We'll make sure that we have this. This is the -6 dB. We might want to make sure it's -3 dB. So it's 1K -3 dB all around. This is for our bass. Yeah. If we double click again on the middle, it's just going to take us back to the original menu. All right. So we got this for our bass. We're going to copy this for our kick as well. So what we did right now was low cut or high frequencies, and we high cut or low frequencies. So in order to finalize the last step and the EQ, and we just want to remove some unwanted frequencies. In order to do that, we'll just drag another EQ8 into the mix. And what we want to do is just solo this bit right here and check for like high or low frequencies that bother us. So we're just going to double click on the EQ8 and start playing this again. What you want to do, so we got the 3 selector here. What we want to do is have a small Q on the tree, so we can better understand where the frequencies that distort are. So we can hear a small artifact right here. What we want to do now is use the volume knob and drag this all the way down to -2-3 dB tops, and adjust the Q even narrow. So this is 1 point inflection. You see this is -6 right here, and we have a like -3.14 dB right here. Next, we're going to try and find another frequency that's a bit over the top. Again, narrow the Q, have the volume up, turn all the way to 12 dB. Yeah, we can already hear something here. So we're just going to have this down again, drag down the volume knob all the way to -6 this time, maybe a narrow key. It's very noticeable, but it has a huge difference once you start compressing and boosting the signal. Yeah, so basically you do this EQing for all your instruments, all your tracks, and just remove the unwanted frequencies before you go into the compressing stage. Alright, so for our third and final step, we got compression. Compression is an audio signal processing operation that reduces the volume of loud sounds or amplifies quiet sounds, thus reducing or compressing an audio signal's dynamic range. Alright, so we're going to use 2 different compressions for this tutorial. One is going to be a simple signal compression, and the other one is going to be a side compression. So we're going to start with the signal compression. For that, we're going to type in the search bar here on audio effects. We're going to type comp, and we're going to drag our compressor to one of our tracks. We're going to use percussion for this one. We have this on solo. We're going to click this button right here. Right, now we're going to start playing the percussion. We'll adjust the threshold and the near bit, and we can see here it's right now it's compressing to -5 dB. So you want to go anywhere between 3 and 0 dBs, but you don't want to go past that. You don't want to go past 3 dBs right here. All right, now for our side compression, what we want to do is grab another compressor, drag it down here, click this button again, and then right here in the left side corner, we just click this button to expand, and where it says sidechain, we're going to click this, right? Once this is activated, we're going to select the audio from where it says no input. We're going to select our kick or whatever track you want to sidechain. Usually a good rule of thumb is to just sidechain everything with the kick. Right, so now what we're gonna do is every time the kick hits, our signal from the percussion is gonna get compressed by the amount we set here. So let's just play it, see how it goes. See, nothing happens. So once we start playing the kick as well, the signal is gonna start coming through. See, this is already a bit higher than 3 dB, but the thing is, this isn't happening every single time. So if you want to make more space for the kick to drop in, then we can probably get away with anything towards 5 to 6 dBs here. So I'm just going to go with 4.5. What this does basically creates more space for the kick when it hits. So you can copy paste this if you want to every single instrument you've got going, and every time the kick will hit, it's just going to create more of an impact. Now, one more thing we want to do before we end this. If you try and compress our kick, let's say around -2, yeah, and we're going to check the headroom. See, we already won 1 dB of headroom just by compressing everything and by sidechaining everything to the kick. Yeah, so basically those are my top tips for mixing your track. At the end of the day, it's about whatever direction you want to go and about your taste and about your instruments. Alright, let me know if you want to learn anything else about Ableton 12 and I'll try my best to make a video on it. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Peace and love.